Hi, welcome to this month's DVD. I'm back at the National Motorhome Show in Peterborough. It's the largest motorhome show in the country. It has about 20,000 people attend every year, so it's well worth coming. If you're free next April, come along. Now we're going to go over to David Chapman. He's one of our travel writers and he's got a fantastic travel feature for us this month.
Hi, my name is David Chapman. I'm a wildlife photographer and writer with MMM. I'm here spending a few days in Somerset to look for wildlife, and to start with I'm in the Tower Hide at Sturt Marshes. I hope you can spend a few days with me and come along and see the wildlife that I can spot along the way. The Wildfowl and Wetland Trust have allowed the River Parrot to flood the Sturt Marshes here and have established a number of hides with double glazing to protect people from the environment, which overlook a salt marsh and intertidal mudflats which are packed with birds. Lapwing, teal and widgeon are the commonest, but this morning I've also seen marsh harrier and merlin flying over. I hope you've enjoyed this trip to the Somerset Levels, ending here at Slimbridge on a very cold and frosty day. I look forward to taking you to other places around the UK to look for wildlife.
Great, thanks David. Now we're at the seminar area of the National Motorhome Show. Every year MMM puts on a series of free seminars for any of the visitors. It covers things like buying advice, make sure you choose the right motorhome for you, those types of things. Everyone's welcome, so if you're at the National Motorhome Show next year, please come along. Now we're going to go over to Peter Vaughan. He's MMM's road test editor. He's got a superb van to test this month. Let's go and have a look.
Today we're looking at a rather special motorhome, this Carthago Chic S Plus i58, all £165,000 worth of it in this rather fetching silver line trim. It sits on our Iveco Daily chassis, a 6.5 tonne rear wheel drive chassis with a 205 horsepower engine. That powers this monster vehicle along, and it can actually tow up to 3.5 tonnes. So not your average motorhome, and you will have to make sure that your driving licence is up to coping with such a beast. Before we go inside though, let's have a look at some of the features that make this vehicle different and special on the outside. Like most Continental A-Class motorhomes, the only cab door is on the passenger side, but it's not really an issue because you have got the habitation door on the other side as well. And on this van, you have got an electric step for this door, which is an unusual touch. External storage is a little different too. These hatches lift up coach style, and you've got double floor storage right the way through full width of the motorhome, so masses and masses of external storage, and you really can use it in this vehicle because you've got, well, a standard 1.3 tonnes of payload, potentially if you go for a heavier chassis, as most people probably will, well over 2 tonnes of payload. Now, when you see the size of the garage, you'll appreciate that you really could use all that capacity. Plenty of room to carry a motorbike, bicycles, barbecues, outdoor furniture, whatever you want on your holiday, sporting gear, it can all go in here. There's plenty of room and plenty of payload. And there's also an external shower on the far side. So if you've got stuff that gets mucky, you can just quickly hose it off. There's a 235 litre fresh water tank too, so you won't run out of water in a hurry. Of course, the Iveco's got twin rear wheels as well as rear wheel drive, so plenty of traction, especially useful when you're towing. And then the habitation door, well, if you're used to the flimsy sound of a lot of motorhome doors, listen to this. More like a bank vault. And then the step, well, that does a bit of a party piece too. Despite its 8.5 metre length, driving this Cartago is not actually as daunting as you might think. Part of that is down to the ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox, which really does make driving an awful lot easier, and that is super smooth. It's as good as any automatic gearbox in any modern car. Visibility is great too, with these twin lens bus style mirrors, which give you fantastic views down both sides of the vehicle. But one of the big differences compared with some A-Class models is the view out of the windscreen to the front of the vehicle. You can actually see the road much closer to the vehicle because of this sloping dashboard. It's a Cartago sales point, and it really is worth looking at. Now, this steering wheel might look as if it belongs in a 1960s Alfa Romeo sports car, but it does have a purpose. When you arrive on site, you just undo a couple of catches and it lifts out of the way to make swivelling this seat much easier. There's a bit of a trademark Cartago feel to this lovely 6-seater lounge, all trimmed in beautiful leather. The round table, well, 6 of you could get around the round table, no trouble at all, and it slides out of the way or to one side when you don't want it, although it is permanently sighted. But the things I really like are the TV, very neatly just slides up from behind the sofa. And then when you've finished watching telly, the sofa, just pull a strap so that you can really relax. At first glance, this might look much like many other European motorhome kitchens, but there's a lot to see. This Korean style worktop is very nice. The sink cover flips in and makes a little worktop there. The tap has a shower hose style extension. There's kitchen roll holder, even an egg timer. Then all the drawers, and there are lots of them, lock and unlock centrally. And if you forget to press that button when you drive off, it does it for you. Drawers include bottle storage, waste bins, everything you could think of really. They've even provided Cartago branded glasses. Then over on the other side, you've got the usual fridge, freezer and tech tower with the oven and grill up above, but you will want to be tall to cook in this motorhome if you're using that oven and grill. It's very high even for me. Another Cartago speciality, if you like, is these clocks over the door. Don't they look very yacht-like? And then hidden behind this translucent panel are the control panels for the inverter, the Aldi heating and general lights and water systems and so on, and of course the satellite dish. But the translucent panel hides them away so that the lights don't disturb you at night. And then the double floor doesn't just offer storage from the outside of the vehicle. There's storage from inside and also access to key servicing issues like the water pump, fresh and wastewater dump valves and so on. Then it's up a small step to the ensuite bedroom with twin wardrobes either side of the bed and a third wardrobe here next to the shower. Now the shower isn't just any motorhome shower, it's got this sort of power shower unit at the top and a little handheld shower as well to reach your extremities. Then on the other side of the vehicle, the toilet room door actually folds around and shuts off the back half of the vehicle as a private area. The cassette loo too has its own special feature. When the cassette itself is full, you just press a button, and as an optional extra then you have this sewage tank which will give you much greater independence from site facilities and emptying facilities. There's just a curtain to provide privacy between the bedroom and the shower toilet area, but once you're into the bedroom, what a bedroom. It's got a really good size island bed with good access from either side, and then these wardrobes have a neat touch in that as you open the door they bring the hanging rail closer to you. How about that for a neat little touch? Another neat little touch is these recesses at either side of the head of the bed, so you've got somewhere to put your reading book, glass of water, your specs, whatever at night. So if you want the ultimate in German quality, a bit of style and a vehicle that you really could live in long term, take a close look at this S Plus. And if you're not completely sold on the Iveco version, they do the E-Line, which is pretty much the same thing on a Fiat Ducato Alco chassis. Right, summer's coming. I think all I need to do is hitch up the speedboat and, well, Côte d'Azur, here we come.
Thanks, Peter. Now it's over to another Peter, Peter Rosenthal. He's MMM's technical editor, and he's got some great advice for us this month. Let's go and have a look.
Okay, changing an air filter is an essential part of keeping the engine running healthily and protecting it against debris that might get ingested as you drive it around. So let's see what you need to do. First of all, you need an air filter. Then let's open up the bonnet and show you how to fit it. Okay, your air filter is housed in this box here. Removing it is just a case of removing some clips. Some are screwed in place. These on Ducatos of this age, very, very easy. Takes 2 minutes to change. Here's how. So you just need to undo these clips. There's 3 of them around the edge. Some of these at the back are hidden from view. Just undo the spring clips, and then you need to waggle this box off, this top. Release it, and it comes out, the whole thing. Put that down out of the way. This particular air filter is quite a clean one. If it's very grotty and all these papers are blackened and there's all sort of dirt in the gaps here, bin it, get another one. This is a paper element which has a very high surface area, so it takes a long time to clog it up. But yeah, it'll affect your engine's running, economy, overall power, and most importantly, emissions. So it's always good to have a nice clean air filter for your engine to be working at its most efficient. First thing to check with a new filter, check it's the right one. So get it out and just physically compare the size of it. Are the holes the similar diameter, the flanges the same? This one looks identical, so we're good to go. Okay, right, before we put the air filter in the air box, it's worth cleaning out any debris that's collected in the bottom of the air box. All sorts of things can get ingested up. The van sucks its air in here through this intake and it ends up in the air box there. It's then filtered before it goes into the engine. So any bits and pieces in there, it's worthwhile clearing it out if there's any debris. But be very careful not to drop it into the engine. It's also worth checking for any rodents, because it's not uncommon for rodents to come up in air boxes. On this particular one, I think it's unlikely, but you never know. Some creatures can get all over the place. Key thing is to make sure this flange sits around the lug down there. Very, very important. Then just pop it in. So we waggle it in, make sure it's fitted, and then just check that lug's in place. You know it's in place where it's just staying upright. Okay, all we need to do is pop the cover back on the spring clips. Important point to note here, this lug. There's a little lug that corresponds with a tab on the air filter box. So make sure that's aligned, otherwise your spring clips won't go on. You need to make sure it's aligned on the top of the air filter. Right, so that's your new air filter in. It's all good to go. Hopefully it'll have good emissions, and now we can get back on the road.
Brilliant, thanks Peter. Great technical advice once again. Now, accessories like this, I love them. One of my favourite parts about motorhome is getting all the gadgets. So let's go over to Duncan in the studio to see what accessories he's got for us this month.
Welcome to this month's accessory reviews, where we're looking at the Coleman lantern, which is handy for you when you're walking around the campsite at night, and also the thermal rainbow screen cover, which will keep you nice and toasty inside. We'll be looking at that later, but first of all, the lantern. On the face of it, this is just an ordinary lantern with a couple of different power modes. You twist the handle, comes on brighter, a bit more brighter, that's the brightest it gets, or flashing mode. But there's actually more to it than that, as we will see. There are two interfaces on the top. One's a micro USB socket, which is where the power supply goes in and charges it up. But the other interesting feature is that there's a USB output socket on the other side, which means that in emergencies, you can plug your phone into the lantern and charge your phone up. But there's another feature which you need to look at, and that's in the base of the lantern. Now, if you've ever left batteries in something and come back months later to find the whole thing's been rotted, then here's a solution for you. On the underside of this lantern, there's a handy little handle. Turn that, and that isolates the battery from the contacts and the rest of the lantern, which means that it's not going to draw any charge while you're not using it. Price-wise, this is £50, which is reasonably good value considering there's a charger built into it. It's not actually as indestructible as, say, the Varta lantern, which we've looked at previously, so don't go throwing it around or bashing muggers over the head with it, but apart from that, it's quite solid and will last you some time. And now, before we go outside and have a look at the rainbow thermal screen, let's check out this lantern to see how it really works in the dark. Bring out your dead. Nice sunny days are great, of course, but what you find is that a couple of hours of being on your pitch, you come back to your cab and it's 110 degrees inside. What you need for this is a cab blind. This one comes from Rainbow Thermal Screens, and as you can see, it's insulated on one side and the other side has a bright red attractive pattern. Let's go see how it fits to the windscreen of our Fiat Ducato-based Adria motorhome. As you can see, one person can do it on their own, although if you've got two, it makes it quicker and easier to get done. It's quite a snug fit, and once on, it will keep your motorhome cool when it's sunny and also warm at night time when it's cold and chilly. Cost for a basic screen is £148. On top of that, you can pay another £48 and you get a choice of 21 colours, or if you want something like this, a particular design or a photograph, that's an additional £70. Just supply your own artwork, your own photo, and they will custom create one for you themselves. You could end up paying over £200 for this screen, which could seem a little steep compared to cheaper ones, but what you've got to bear in mind is that you can get your own custom designs on there. It's very thick and it's very effective, so it's a really good quality item that's going to last you a number of years. Okay, let's get back into the studio now before I get sunburned. That's all for the accessories for this month. We'll see you again next time for some more interesting gadgets and devices for your motorhome.
Great, thanks Duncan. Brilliant accessories once again. Now we're going to go to Val Chapman, so let's go and see which Premier Park she's at this month.
Nestling amid beautiful Somerset countryside on the edge of the Mendip Hills, Wells Touring Park is just under a mile from England's smallest city. Wells is famous for three things: its magnificent cathedral, the Bishop's Palace, home to the Bishops of Bath and Wells for 800 years, and the wells, which gave the city its name. These are located within the grounds of the Bishop's Palace. The palace is set in tranquil gardens, but you don't have to leave Wells Touring Park to experience peace and tranquility. This is an adults-only site, so it's always quiet. And the vista is beautiful, with lawns between hard-standing pitches and neatly kept bushes to divide the site into different sections, creating a sense of seclusion. There are 60 hard-standing pitches here, plus 12 grass pitches, and enough space for the largest of motorhomes. Some of the pitches have drainage and water, as well as hookup. With the city of Wells within easy walking distance, there's no need to stray far from here to find interest. Wells Touring Park's website contains an item that intrigued us. It says the site has on-site games. We were keen to find out more. There are courts set out for the traditional continental game of pétanque or boule. Boule can be hired from the reception office. And there's more: giant Jenga, drafts played on an enormous outdoor checkerboard. There's a bus stop by the entrance to the site. Services take you to Wells and Cheddar and Weston-super-Mare. From Wells you can get to Bath, Bristol, even Taunton or Burnham-on-Sea. Or you can hire a car from the site. It's a cute little smart car with a surprising amount of comfort for a tiny vehicle. Wells Touring Park is open all year. The Shires building is heated. There are washing up facilities, a laundry and an ironing board. Staying connected is no problem here, with Wi-Fi available throughout the site for a fee, and it's free in the coffee lounge. That's a little enclave of quiet seclusion for when the weather's not good enough to sit outside and have coffee. You can come here, meet friends perhaps, and watch television. Coffee and cakes, plus ice creams are available. Barbecue enthusiasts have a special offering here: a barbecue area alongside the coffee lounge, equipped with tables and seats and a stunning view. Dogs are welcomed at this site, and there's a special area set aside for dog exercise on the edge of the site. If you want to cook in your motorhome, there are 3 supermarkets within a mile and a half of the site. And for times when you prefer not to cook, you can order takeaway meals to be brought right to your pitch from a pub and takeaway business in Wells. If you fancy a little pampering during your holiday, you can take advantage of the on-site beauty room. Facials, manicures, pedicures, and even spray tan are on offer here. You need to book before arrival though, as this facility is extremely popular. This is a site to choose if you're looking for somewhere to relax and unwind, where pitches are large and the aspect is spacious. It's the perfect choice, of course, for exploring Wells. And here you're only 25 minutes from the golden sands of Breen and Burnham-on-Sea, where there are endless walking opportunities along Breen Downs.
Lovely, thanks Val. Now we're going to go over to a new section of our DVD. It's where Rachel Stothart, our deputy editor, goes to meet some motorhomers. So let's go and see who she's met this month.
Motorhome shows are a great place to meet like-minded people from all walks of life with all shapes and sizes of motorhomes. We're actually at the Motorhome Fun Club area where we bumped into Carol and Eddie, who have this brilliant little Heimer. It's quite old, but it's been to loads of places. Let's go and take a look.
I was 27 when we first started, so we've been camping or caravanning or motorhoming all those years.
Yeah.
I'm Carol and my husband is Eddie, Carol and Eddie Davis. We've had this Heimer 584 now for 11 years, and it was a 2000, it was 5 years old when we bought it. I absolutely love it. Well, we've been motorhoming now since 1982. We had our first van, which was an old Bedford CF that Ed built from scratch because we'd had caravans for years before that. When we bought the vehicle, we decided we wanted to have a solar panel on it so that we don't have to rely on electricity. We had a sky dish on it and a bike rack because obviously we love cycling. So that was about all the modifications we've done because it does everything we want it to do without doing much more to it really. It just runs lovely, goes lovely, does 30 to the gallon most of the time, which is amazing, and doesn't do any silly, it's got no silly little things that go wrong on it. So Ed always maintains it, keeps it nice and clean, polishes it outside and gets on the roof, keeps it clean. So, and at our age, that's not bad going. So, yeah. No, this van is so comfortable, and if we're home or away, we're happy in it, and that's lovely. Luckily, we both get on so well, and you have rules in motorhomes. You don't try to push past one another. If one's doing something, you sit down and let the other one do it. You know, it's a small space, and you need to respect each other to enjoy it. And that's what we find makes it's just really nice and relaxing, and we get very cosy in here. We've been to Morocco twice in it for 3 months at a time, and been in the Sahara Desert. We've been down the Peloponnese in Greece, Italy, Assisi and the Tuscany, watched the Mille Miglia, done lots of things in Italy, and then France of course, and Spain as well. So yeah, we've toured a lot, but having said that, we enjoy Snowdonia, Anglesey, absolutely on our doorstep, and that's lovely. A motorhome fund has played quite a big part in our last 7 years of motorhoming. It's a wonderful group. I've never met such friendly people that make you welcome, and it does make a difference. And with being on the internet, you can be anywhere in the country, and if you're stuck or you're in any trouble, there's somebody there to help you. From here, I think, well, I know we've been talking about it all winter and following it on the internet, and we're going to do the Route 500 around the Scottish coast. Yeah, we're going from here to Keswick, and from Keswick we're going to
round Glasgow up the west coast.
And then we'll pick up at Applecross and all around. Next year probably we'll go abroad, maybe Spain, maybe Portugal. Who knows where, but that'll probably be the plan, find some sunshine. Motorhomes to us means freedom. It means the possibility to go wherever we want, which we do, in our own time, without being rushed, without constrictions. And when we retired, we thought, if we have 5 good years doing this kind of thing, it'd be wonderful. And as I say, we've had coming up 12 years, so we're very lucky, and it's just given us freedom in our retirement, which has made a lot of difference. There's a lot out there to see, a lot of the rest of the country and the world really. So yeah, that's what motorhoming means to us.
I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this month. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. The goodbye from me, it's goodbye from the thousands of campers at the National Motorhome Show.